the Entity 602, and in today's tutorial, we're going to be talking about the course POL211, and I'm going to be taking a bearing from designation of. Okay, we're going to be dissecting still all about the Nigerian legal system. I'm going to be dissecting certain things about Nigerian legal system. With this being said, let's get straight into it. Okay, so we have designating the area of crime. All right, that's our POL 211. Okay, and we have designating the area of crime. Now, the very first point I want to start with for tonight is that the court regards crime as a wrong. Regards crime as a wrong. Okay? And whoever has done, right, the wrong, and whosoever is involved in this wrongdoing, okay, the victim and the person who has done this wrong, all right, the two will be addressed accordingly as the court deems it fit. Now, where crime is taken to be a moral wrong by the court, when sentencing a criminal reflects. Now, this is on this point, we are trying to emphasize on the fact that where crime is taken to be moral wrong by the courts, then sentencing a criminal reflects. Now, what are we saying here? Okay, I'm going to establish the fact that court regards crime, all right, as a wrong. All right, speaking of which, moral wrong, in the case of moral wrong, okay, when crime is taken to be a moral wrong by the courts, okay, then there has to be what is called sentencing. Good evening, Miss Regina. Good evening, Miss Simi. It's great to have you on board. Okay, when a particular wrong, definitely, whatsoever wrong that it might be, it is definitely against the morals. All right, what are morals? Doing what is good and letting go of what is bad. All right. So in the case whereby this wrong is being done, the court needs to what? Sentence. All right. Moral wrong reflects / attracts. Reflects / attracts sentencing. All right. Now, in the case of Smith and Hogan, all right, in the case of Smith and Hogan, that's Smith and Hogan, they wrote that, okay, they wrote that revulsion felt by citizen for a particular crime. Okay, now this is simply telling us that when a wrong is being done, definitely there are two persons involved. All right, the person that did it and the person that it was done against. Okay, now according to what as is said here by Smith and Hogan, okay, Smith and Hogan. Now, according to them, they wrote that revulsion, okay, felt by citizen for a particular crime, meaning that whenever crime is being committed or perpetrated, citizen feels these disgusts. All right, they feel cheated, they feel violated and they require justice. All right, they require justice, and by this sentencing in the court, justice can be attained. All right, it could be compensation, it could be sentencing for certain years with hard labor. It all depends on what the case is. But according to John and according to Smith and Organ, they wrote that when crime is being done or perpetrated, citizens feel this revulsion and disgust. So he said a revulsion felt by citizens for a particular crime. Okay, there's a revulsion felt by citizen. Okay, revulsion felt by citizens for a particular crime. Now, thus, when a criminal is punished, he is evidently punished, all right, for his wickedness or evil doing, all right. And this is, this serves as, there's something we call reinforcement, all right, reinforcement in psychology. Okay, now when a child does something and such behavior is reinforced with reward, all right, so a child is encouraged, all right, to do such, all right, more, since it is reinforced by reward. But in a situation whereby a child does something, all right, reinforcing such behavior with reward simply tells the child that yes, what I'm doing is good, and that's why it has attracted this reward. Okay, but if a child does something and it is reinforced with punishment, okay, it's simply telling the child that this thing that I've done is terribly bad and I should not do it. Now in this case, when a court now punishes the criminal, all right, it is an evidence that there's hope for justice, all right, and others who might intend to perpetrate such a crime will deter from doing such. Now also, Patrick Delvin concurs with the view that sees crime as moral fact, all right. Crime, that's Patrick, is also concurs to the view that sees crime as moral fact. Definitely. And when we talk about morals now, we are simply talking generally about doing that which seem, all right, appealing, all right, to the eye, what is good, and letting go of what is improper, absurd, and terrible or evil. Okay, so we have that as that. Now we need to understand that it is not all acts that the law criminalize. Okay, we need to understand that it is not all acts that the law criminalize, okay, or regard as crime at the same level. Okay, not all acts are regarded by the law as what we call crime at the same level. All right, there are levels to crime. Okay, there are levels to crime. All right, as different crime attract different punishment, different stigmas. Okay, now we have the stigma criminal. Okay, the stigma criminal will be attached to someone who is convicted of a criminal behavior. Let's take for example a murder case. Okay, a murder case, whoever that has killed someone, another person, such person will be tagged a murderer. Okay, now such stigma is attached to that level of criminal behavior. Okay, but now someone who is penalized for overspeeding is also a crime, all right, has also broke the law, but such a person will not be tagged, all right, that stigma criminal, all right, both of them has broken the law. Okay, but someone who is charged, who is arraigned for a murder case, all right, the stigma that will be tagged on such a person will be a murderer, all right, but it cannot be the same. It won't be the same thing, all right, for someone who just who is arrested for overspeeding, all right, or drunkenness. Okay, although this can lead to some greater crimes, but at least at the point whereby they were still arrested, at that point they will not be tagged the some serious level of criminal behavior. Okay, so we have that as that. So now let's take down some of these points. Now we have recklessness, negligence, and mens rea. Okay, now let's see recklessness as component of mens rea. Now when we say mens rea, what are we talking about? Mens, all right, rea. Okay, mens rea refers, all right, refers to, are we together? Mens rea refer to what we call criminal intent. Any behavior or attitude, okay, that has criminal intent. Okay, awesome. Any behavior or attitude that has criminal intent, all right, at the moment, the behavior might not be referred to as criminal, all right, the behavior might not be referred to as dangerous, but any behavior that is being perpetrated, that is being displayed, all right, that has the potential, all right, like there are some estates that don't allow all this, they call them babambola here in Abuja. Okay, a lot, because they seem to be there seems to be some serious, they seem to pose some serious threat, right? I'm not saying all of them are bad, all right, but based on research and reports, the majority of them are bad. So normally now, in an environment whereby they are tagged bad, so if one with a very pure motive, just wanting to do his job, all right, if such is come across in such an environment, so someone in that environment will be kind of careful or reserved, because what they do, you never can tell what can happen with them being around, because their movement alone already pass a message to you that you need to be alert or quickly call the estate security and inform them of their awareness, because they can do and undo. All right, so now having seen them around alone, all right, you already tag them that this person is he has the potential of doing some criminal behavior, of displaying some criminal behavior, or doing something very something very bad. Okay, so now when we say mens rea, the attitude, disposition, or behavior that has criminal content. Okay, criminal content. Now, so now as it says here, it says recklessness as a component. Okay, so now recklessness is also a component of mens rea. All right, recklessness. Yes, because if you are reckless, it might not seemingly look dangerous, but let's say you are driving recklessly now. You know, you can mistakenly hit, all right, a passerby, and such person can lose their life or lose some part of their body. Okay, so recklessness now is a component, okay, of mens rea, because recklessness, when you are even though you are using knife, you can, if you are using it recklessly, you can injure yourself or somebody with it. All right, so recklessness is a component of mens rea. Also, we have negligence. All right, now negligence, as here says that recklessness has shades of meaning in English law, which have been called, all right, connooning, okay, in English law, okay, it's seen as Cunningham, all right, Cunningham in English law, all right, Cunningham recklessness. Okay, Cunningham recklessness. That's in English law. Okay, now we have negligence as a component of mens rea. Now, as it says here that there are some who are not comfortable. Okay, now don't forget that you don't have to be caught red-handed, all right, violating the law. You don't have to be caught red-handed that you have literally violated the law. All right, you can be arrested for what we call mens rea, because what you are doing has what we call criminal intent. So you don't have to be caught stealing, all right, or maybe in a burglary, or maybe in some serious crime. If whatever you are doing has criminal intent, you can be arrested. Okay, now according to what it says here, it says negligence, and that's why okay, why do you even think we have traffic lights, road wardens on the road? Because there are some drivers that will not stop at anything until they are driving recklessly, overspeeding in a territory they're not supposed to overspeed. Okay, so recklessness is seen as a component. So now, according to what we had there about negligence, okay, some persons, all right, there are some who are not comfortable with the inclusion of negligence as a mens rea, all right. Now, according to JWC Turner, okay, that's JWC Turner is of that opinion, all right, is of this camp. He argues that negligence should not be part all right, he argues that negligence should not be part of mens rea, all right, mens rea. Okay, he argues that negligence should not be part of mens rea. For him, the mental requirements, okay, for him, the mental requirement of criminal responsibility is limited to voluntary conduct and foresight of consequence or consequences. All right, you know, when we say negligence, what are we actually talking about? Okay, because for Turner to put up his argument, he actually has a point. Okay, so now let's look at the term negligence. Okay, now when we say negligence, we are simply talking about negligence. Okay, we're simply talking about failure to take proper care. Okay, you can see it as carelessness. All right, carelessness, that's a synonym for it. Okay, let's look at some other synonyms. All right, we have neglect. Okay, we have been irresponsible. All right, carelessness. Okay, we have carelessness, irresponsible. So now, according to Turner, it says for him the mental requirement for criminal responsibility is limited to voluntary conduct and foresight. Now, this is why he said negligence should never be part of mens rea. All right, before negligence can be seen as mens rea, right? It says that it should only be seen, it should only be a component of mens rea in a situation whereby the person is what? Fully aware. All right, the person is fully aware that his conduct has consequences and he still went ahead, according to him. Because when you are irresponsible, all right, when you are careless, it might not be deliberate, sometimes it might not be intentional, right? So in such a case, he says because of this reason, all right, some persons are careless, not intentionally or being deliberate. It could be as a matter of one thing or the other. Therefore, negligence should not be part. All right, but apart from that, he has no other views. So we have that as that. Now let's take some other points. Now, Turner claims that the word negligence has been misused, and he regretted that it still subsists in language of criminal law. All right, he says the words have been misused. He argues that negligence should not be considered, all right, as a type of mens rea. It is rather, according to Turner, properly understood as inadvertent. All right, so it is properly understood to be inadvertent. When we say inadvertent now, or inadvertence, we're simply talking about the quality of not being intentional. All right, he sees negligence as not being intentional, like I explained earlier. Okay, so let's take that down. Okay, let's erase this so you can take that down. So Turner classifies negligence. All right, classifies negligence as inadvertence. Inadvertence. All right, and this is said to be a case of not being intentional. So now we have that as that. Now, we need to understand that every legal system, has developed for itself a system of practice which enables qualified legal personnel to represent persons in a court of law. Now let's take that again. Every legal system has developed for itself, all right, a system of practice. Okay. Every legal system has developed it for itself a system. A system of what? A system of practice. A system of practice which enables qualified legal personnel. All right, qualified legal personnel. All right, qualified legal personnel, all right, to represent persons in a court of law. Now, these different legal systems of the world are, we have the likes of writ, okay, we have the likes of writ. Now, when we say writ, what are we talking about? A writ is a legal document written by a judge or another body with jurisdiction to perform or cease performance, all right, cease performing a specific action. Okay, basically it's a legal document written by a judge or by a court of, all right, jurisdiction. Are we together? That's a document, to be seen as a document written okay, a document a document, okay, with instructions of abstaining from, okay, abstaining from, is the network a little bit stable in your place now? Okay, from acting in a particular way. Okay, so we have that as that. Okay, we also have the common law, all right, the common legal system. We also have that, and common legal system here. Common law, we've talked about that, also known as the case law, said to be the body of unwritten laws, all right, based on legal precedents. Okay, common law is also seen as common law is also seen as the case law. Okay, and it is referred to as a body of unwritten. All right, a body of unwritten law based on legal excuse me, based on legal precedents. Okay, legal. Okay, so we have that as that. I think on this note, we'll call it a wrap for tonight. And in our next class, we'll talk about development of legal practice in Nigeria. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I believe we have been able to gain a thing or two in today's class. Let's do all to keep our notes up to date and submit them to the appropriate quarters. I look forward to you all in subsequent tutorial. Do you have a wonderful night rest. Good night.